apologize for the delay. There I am. Okay, excellent. All right. Um, I was, in fact, on at 3 o'clock. I'm not lying. I really was. Except there's a little button which is now not on the screen anyways. When you're setting up to do the video, there's a little button over on the side that says only me, um, which, that looks perfectly natural to me to have a button on my screen that says only me. Hi, sissy. But apparently only me in this context means I'm the only one who can see my video, which it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, we tried several times and then I unchecked that and now it's working. All right. Um, Sharon asks, did I miss you yesterday? Yes, and it's all your fault. It is absolutely all your fault. Where the hell were you? You didn't show up, so I just didn't do the video. And yeah, I could lie about other things as well. Stellar and I went to the zoo yesterday, and I meant to tell you, and I forgot. Sorry. Um, and so yeah, so we were less than here. And hey, Evan's here. Say hi. Everybody say hi to Evan. And do 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 do. And Sharon says, if you wait, wait, well, like to talk to yourself, I suppose the button makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there you are. Yeah, I suppose you could just you can make a video and watch it yourself, but why would it be live? It doesn't make any sense for it to be live if you can't. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Here's a drawing, and I think I made the lady just too dang short and squat, and at the same time, uh, that leg is like impossibly long. So I tried to scrub that out earlier with my paper towel. And apparently there was some time in the past where I liked this drawing very much and I sprayed fixative on it. And now this stuff is not coming off. So I want this part of her to drop just a little bit further. I'm not, I'm not talking about making her a 7 foot tall superhero or anything, but just a wee bit, and other things. So yes, we went to the zoo, and the zoo itself is nice. The animals were on their best behavior, which they're animals, so sometimes their best behavior is not very good. But that part, the zoo part, is perfectly pleasant. I was a little freaked out by the people. I was last time I went to the zoo too, but I was by myself, and I can scamper out of the way when some oblivious person is just walking straight towards me, talking on the phone. He's just gonna like body slam me, with his mask off and all that kind of stuff, and I can just, you know, normally, if there was no COVID, all right, and somebody was doing that, I would just plant my foot and raise my elbows and act oblivious and let him have a pointy, bony elbow into his sternum, and he'd be fine in a couple days. But COVID, I don't want to have that encounter right now. So I've been diving out of people's way. But then yesterday, I was there with Stellar, and you know, you got to try to get two people out of the way. It's not as easy. And so yeah, I was a little uncomfortable doing that because people, goddamn people, they wouldn't go around being people like that. It's a lot better. I haven't quite worked out this structure that they're sitting on, this lady and this cat. But there must be surface back here because the cat's got his foot down on the surface, obviously. So it's going to go something like that, at least. And that's fine. And I decided to let her leg come down a little, and her other leg. This is miserably hard to fake. This leg coming towards you thing. I did like the pose as it was, almost, but it was just that little bit off enough to make her look a little freakish, and I didn't like it. So I'm changing it. It's not super important, you know, if I screw it up and wind up throwing it away. Oh, such is life. Yeah, we'll all survive that. I mean, we won't. I won't guarantee you we'll all survive, but we won't die because of that. We'll die because of something else. But anyhow, hopefully I can fake that. I don't want any dead people suing me and going, Joe said we were going to survive, and we didn't. I want to put her other arm. I want to put this arm over here because I'm sick of that pose. We did that so many times. It just made me ill after a while. It's just like, please do something else. But no. I don't know what happened, but somehow that pose became holy. It became the pose. The holy pose. Holy pose. The model had more clout than me. If the model said, I don't want to do that again, I did that last week, then we would do something different. But if, if I said, I don't want to draw that again, I would do that last week, people would just go, whatever. So I've sprayed some fixative on there, obviously, and it's going to be really kind of difficult to make that go away. But I'll see what I can do. I drew this model several times, and I thought I did a fairly good job on the face. But every time I drew this poor girl's face, she was like 19 years old. She was very pretty. And every time I drew this model's face, she came out looking like Eric's mom from that 70s show. And it's largely the hair, but I don't I don't know. I always kind of felt bad because she doesn't look like that. But I guess she kind of does look like that. I think maybe in another 10 years, she's gonna look like Eric's mom from that '70s show. And I mean, there's worse things you can look like. That lady's attractive for a middle-aged lady, but this girl was like 19. There's little white chalks that you can buy. Come on, Gil. There's little white chalks you can buy in the art supply store over with the rest of the charcoal, like General's white. It'll say white charcoal. There's no such thing as white charcoal. It's a chalk. But you can buy that, and it will not do what I just did. I just basically erased all those lines and knocked them out. And that white chalk will not do that. This is a new pastel, spelled NU pastel, and that is like having a little bucket of paint. You just, in a stick, and you just and you just knock it right out. I love those things. My One of the teachers that drew with us, he wasn't he wasn't teaching the class. It wasn't a full credit class, but he used to draw with us. He used to scold me for my excessive use of the white chalk, but I didn't care. I just make sure he wasn't looking, and I would use it to excess. All right, I like that a billion times better. A billion. So now it's time to do something with it. I've got nothing at all against girls with short hair. There's lots of cute girls with short hair. There's several of them watching this video while we speak. But somehow it just doesn't match this world that I'm building. I don't know. It just doesn't. You're doing fantasy art, and you want to make something with fantasy. I don't know, somehow uh, a hairstyle that looks out of date, but not like 1950s out of date, but like long flowing hair blowing in the wind and stuff like that. That just kind of says fantasy art, or it does to me anyway. So I got some color down in the background, and I smeared some of that color into the foreground. Now it's a mess, and I like a mess. I like a mess. Oh goodness. Sissy asks if Gilead is freezing for everyone except me. Um, I'm fine. I'm perfectly warm. But I don't know. Is my picture freezing? John says I keep freezing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep freezing. Um, I've got my I've got my Cat 6 cable. A Cat 6. You can't do better than that. What am I gonna do? Get a Cat 7? How many freaking cats are there? Um, I don't know what else to do. Got you string this cable across the whole house. And speaking of cats, it freaks out the cat. I don't know why. He's he doesn't like that cable. It just freaks him out, and he gets angry. He'll he'll run away, but sometimes he'll come up and slap the cable and then run away. Go hide under the bed or something. I feel kind of bad, but it's also kind of fun. And yeah, so now here I am. Now here I am with a figure, and I got to dress her up. I've got a sketch that I did a long time ago of some uh, costume things, how belts and decorative loincloth thingy. And sometimes you draw that and you go, oh, that'll look perfect. And then you draw it on the figure. And I don't know, just because of the way they're sitting or whatever, it's like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This kind of doesn't work. Uh, I really want this to work. I'll just do the earrings instead. My little project of making a little book, just a humble little book, is kind of getting away from me and turning into a big project of making 20 books. And that's kind of a good thing in a way, but kind of not. Um, Largely because I guess in the business world they call it scope creep when you set out to do something um, and then you start losing sight of what you had in mind initially, and it starts turning into something else, and then something else, and the project just gets bigger and more elaborate, and like, oh, we could have dancing girls and a Broadway show and stuff like that. I mean, why not? What the heck? We're young, and yeah, it's starting to creep. The scope of my project is starting to creep, and I'm gonna have to dial it back down. But I don't know. Still, it's kind of fun, partially. It's been good to go through. Like I've been through all this material that's behind me. It doesn't look like much, but there's a lot of paper back there, and I've gone through and sorted every sheet of paper there 3 times at least in the last a couple weeks. And I've also gone through all the files on my computer, all of them, that pertain to something that I've already drawn, and it's a lot of going through stuff. But in the process of doing that, I've organized a lot of that stuff in ways that I have not ever managed to organize up until now. And so it's like, when you do something a lot, you do it badly a lot, and then you do some good stuff every now and then. And then you go through a pile of things looking for something good, and you can look at a whole bunch of stuff that's really not good. And then you can start getting discouraged and go, oh, I thought I had a bunch of neat stuff that would make good paintings or that would make good stuff for a book, and now this is all crap, and who am I fooling? And I should just go, you know, stand on a street corner with a cardboard sign or something. And then, but once I got all this crap organized and that I can tell actually how much I've got that's worth something. And now that I've got that separated from the stuff that I think is not currently good enough, and so it's like, okay, now I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I think would be nifty for a little book, and then I'm putting all that stuff together to make a book, and it's like now it's too much. It's too many good things, and so I imagine I will have moments of existential doubt again throughout the course of this, and but I'm getting it done, getting a book made, and there should be several books. I've got a book of the mermaids that I did a couple years ago for Mermaid. Problem with that is, shockingly, there's not enough of them. There's, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to be throwing away, turning back a lot of it and just using the better stuff. And it turns out, put all of it in there, and there's still not enough to do the book that I've designed. The number of pages. Um, I've mentioned before that I want all of my books. I'm going to re-release a coloring books. I want all of the books to basically be the same format, which is going to be 10 sheets of paper folded in half with a cover outside of that folded. All of this folded and stapled, and then so if it's coloring book, that's going to be 20 interior pieces of paper, blank on the back, so that you can color on this side and it doesn't screw up the picture on the back. But if it's not a coloring book, there's no reason not to put stuff on both sides. And so that actually means 44 surfaces when you count the covers, inside and out of the cover. And I see no reason why any of this should have blank pages on it. Um, so looking at my mermaid sketches, at first I was like, oh yeah, there's going to be 20, and then I did them for a whole month, so I'm going to be rejecting 10. Well, no, there's going to be 44, so I'm 10 short. So I've had a couple things like that where I go, oh, damn it. But I'm making a book for the mermaids. I'm doing the unicorn and the robots, marcher robots, and those both look pretty good. And then I'm going to redo the coloring books, and those will be fine. And then I'm doing sketchbooks of things like this with the before and the after, so the drawing from life drawing class, photo of that, and then a photo of things in progress um, as they start to change. And I can go from thinking that's the greatest idea in the world to starting to doubt myself and thinking, who wants to look at that? Nobody wants to look at that. You're stupid. Why do you want to? What makes you think anybody's going to buy a book that's, crap like that? Your life drawings. I just go through that. I do that. All right, so I've got comments. I got people talking about the picture freezing. I hope that's stopped. And Sissy says it would be weird to have an art project that doesn't snowball. I suppose that's probably true. Stellar's talking about the freezing again. Okay, so the three voices in the valley are saying no issues. That's Stellar, Sissy, and me. And Sharon and John are having problems. Evan didn't say. I don't know if he's having problems. Okay. Yeah. Yesterday I just missed. Sorry. We actually got home right around 3 o'clock, and we were tired, and it was just like the last thing on my mind. And then uh, Sissy messaged me later and said, "Where's your video?" And then I was like, "Oh crap." Yeah, but that was much later. So too late to rectify the situation. So if you want, I can just ramble on for twice as much nonsense today. All in all, I'm feeling good about the book project. Getting back to that, because that's what's on my mind. If you say, talk about something, Gil, it's going to be that. It's like Facebook when they go, what's on your mind? This is what's on my mind. So what's frequently on my mind is how many different jobs I've done and how they don't necessarily build towards any particular thing. Uh, some people have had 7 jobs through their life, but they all kind of step into the next job, and they kind of, built this skill and realized, hey, I could do this, because I've been doing that, and then they went and applied for that job, or just got offered that job or something. And so, one thing led to another. And then there's other people like me that just kind of like do something for the paycheck, don't really care about it. It's building skills that you're never going to use once you leave this place. And then one day you just jump the track and go do something entirely unrelated. And when you look back on your life and go, gosh, that a lot of that feels like a waste of time. So yeah, that's all. But I didn't mean to spin that all negative like that. What I meant was it's easy to think I don't have anything. Like I say, you look at that pile of paper, and if you pull the first 25 sheets off the stack and they don't look like anything, it's easy to start telling yourself you've got nothing, and there's no potential. But having gone through and sorted a bunch of stuff, and I just cannot describe to you how monumental a project that was. uh, I don't know. Remember that last scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where the guy's walking through the warehouse and there's just like crates and crates and crates. Okay, my image files on my computer are like that, and I just went through and organized all of it. And so, yeah, it was like that. But now I have the realization that there's a substantial amount of material, and of course I have no idea whether uh, they would really sell. People have told me over the years, "Oh yeah, yeah, you should do this." I would buy that in a heartbeat. People would buy that. People would eat that up. Um, I don't know how many people we're talking about. It's just now I won't know until I do it and find out. So I'm going to do it and find out. But that'll be another thing. We'll be discovering that. And of course, it would sure be better if I could go to fairs or Comic Con or something, but that's not going to happen for a little while. This world where these people live is probably not a safe place to go swimming, given that there's crocodiles in the water everywhere and things that eat crocodiles. So you might ask yourself, why all the bikinis? I don't know who would ask a question like that, but somebody's going to ask a question. I have been asked a question like that. Why is everybody dressed like that? Because I want you to. We were born in Vermont, my sister, my brother, and I. And you might well imagine you don't see a lot of bikinis in Vermont. But my sister went back to visit some friends of hers and stayed for a while. And she came back and she said it was really surprising that everybody wears bathing suits all the time, and and they're all much more tan than we are because when well they don't wear them all the time, but they wear them when the opportunity presents itself. So it's like if the sun comes out, everybody's outside in their bathing suit getting a tan, and overall they spend a lot more time doing that than we do here in Arizona. So we're all pale and possibly don't own a bikini, and uh, they spend a lot of time out by the pool. So maybe it's like that. Given the way she's sitting, I'm just not happy. I'm not happy with everything I designed for her bottom. Scott says, "Hey, that's a great piece. Every time I visit, I get my Frazetta fix." In a way, that's my goal. It's like uh, when Frazetta died, um, I found myself going, "There's not going to be any more Frazetta paintings." It's like part of me was always waiting for some book to come out, or number of books to come out and have Frazetta covers on them, and then there'd be another Frazetta collection to buy. Um, when I was little, I bought paperback books just because of the cover on it, and it was usually Frazetta. Um, And then I read them years later and found out some of them were actually really good. You could read books and not just look at the covers, which who knew that. But so yeah, that was something that I felt, it's just that realization. There's nothing to do anymore. And then I thought, well, then I'll do it. I'll make Frazetta covers. I'll make new stuff like that so people like Scott can get their fix. So thank you. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's my goal. Um, Sharon says 12 books, one for each month. Um, Moon, June, rear views, July, July, reclining poses. These are good thoughts. Keep it going. Keep it going. Um, Yeah, I've tried to come up with those things. There are sketch challenges, as you know, for just about every day of the year, not every day of the year, every month of the year. But there's March of Robots, which I've done, um, Mermay and Junicorn. There's also, I don't know, sketch timber, I think is one, but I didn't do that because I already do that. I sketch every day. But Inktober is like one of the first ones, doing inking every day in October. Um, November, I kind of wish I was doing that right now, but I'm busy doing other things. Um, and I don't know, some other things, but some of them are lame. Some of them are really reaching, and it's that's um, I don't know, something. February was one. You're supposed to do fairies in February. Um, but yeah, I like July. uh, what did somebody had July canthropy and uh, and an alternate for June if unicorns aren't your thing is kaiju, uh, Japanese monsters kaiju. Um, so yeah, there's that. I tried to come up with my own, and I'm the wrong kind of clever. Somebody gives me a prompt, I can draw it, but dreaming it up turns out to not be my thing. And I'm going to give her something to wear so she's not walking around. Well, she will be bare ass naked, but she won't be bare ass naked. And yeah, what else can I do? What else can you do? Just do the thing you do. So I'm going to keep doing these. The best of these are going into a pile up here. This little box up here. Um, I'm definitely turning that into a painting someday. And I just went through those this morning and kind of got excited and said, "Oh, I'm looking forward to painting these things. That's going to be fun." And I don't know, I haven't been looking forward to anything in a while, so it's a good feeling. And so yeah, that may be all the dribbling I've got for the day. I'm going to really kind of owe you an extra half an hour because I missed yesterday, but I don't have that much integrity. Just don't. So, um, I think I'm going to see you tomorrow. It is a little bit up in the air for these 2 weeks because Stellar's off work, and of course it being um, COVID. There's not many places we can go, but we do want to do things like the zoo and the arboretum and things like that because you can be outside and you can get away from people. And, we wear a mask and we stay away from people as much as we can. But a lot of the other things that we'd like to do, like go visit people back east and things like that, is just absolutely out of the question because I won't get on a plane right now. And I think it's wise not to if your life doesn't depend on it. We have two more friends, a married couple, both have COVID. Found out last night. Um, they're young and strong. Hopefully, be fine. But you never know. So yeah. This boy, I say something positive and then I just bring the room down. There was this comedian I watched. He talked about breaking the ice at a party, and then he said, but it's not fair when I've gone to all the trouble to make jokes and do things and break the ice, and then I walk away, and then the ice is already broken. So he says, I like to remake the ice just before I leave. I think I've got that talent. So he says, you know, I'll say something entertaining and be fun, and then I'll say, death comes for us all, and walk away. So yeah, I tend to do stuff like that, and I'm not even trying to be clever. So yeah, tomorrow I'll see you at 3 o'clock, and death comes for us all. Have a good day.